Hello, everybody. Welcome to Unmuted, the place where cat people get to speak out on and off topic. Today's special guest is Peter Cohen. You might know him from House of Neko, Zen by a Cat, or FIP Warriors. That's how I know him. House of Neko was the first cat house I had ever seen, and my first exposure to catification, I think, ever. Still sort of the gold standard of cat houses in my mind. I'm excited to have him today. He's going to speak today on FIP. That's our topic. I don't know too much about it, so I'm excited that he's going to be here to explain it a little bit further. Waiting a few more minutes until he gets here. Do you know the goal for me for this show is to I want to find out what makes cat people tick, you know, the hows, the whys, the when. What made you get into cats? What was your turning point? When did you become a cat person? Email me and let me know. We still have a few more minutes. Hey everybody, here he comes.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know.
There was something going on in the world that I don't know about?
Well, there's just, this lingering pandemic.
Yeah, I'm being facetious, yes.
Ah, yes. Was there one of those football games going on?
So,
How is it out there in sunny California?
boringly sunny?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, our weather never changes.
Yeah, you didn't get any of that cold, right?
No, I mean, at night it gets down to maybe 45 and in the day it's 70 and it doesn't change much.
Yeah. Yeah, the rest of the universe got that giant cold snap.
Can you see me?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. There you are. Yay. Hi, Peter.
So let me get the right view so I can...
Yeah.
Gallery, that's easier. All right, and then I'm going to try my best to look at the camera up there. And
I know it's so difficult. I still struggle.
Someone needs to fix that. Someone needs to fix that.
Just these arrows that do this. Arrows. Don't forget,
Yeah. When I get interviewed like this, people, that's what they do. They point up. So. So how can I help? What do I say?
Okay, let's just start right now, Peter. Thank you so much for coming on to the show. Very excited to have you. I haven't seen you in a long time. I think the last time I saw you was at one of the cat cons, I think.
Yeah, like 3 years ago, I think.
Yes, 3 years ago.
Back when they had cat cons.
Yes, exactly. So I have introduced you already and talked a little bit about your house and what you do. And I would like to know a lot more about FIP. I know very little about it. Not only do I want to know more about FIP, I would like to know what you do with because of FIP, if that makes any sense.
Sure. And I'll talk way too much and you'll have to tell me to shut up. But
I have a timer because I talk a lot too.
So FIP stands for feline infectious peritonitis. And it is actually a coronavirus in cats that in 2% of all feline cases mutates into the deadly form, which is called FIP. Before it mutates, it's just a common cold coronavirus. It's in 9 of felines in the world. In the unlucky 2%, it mutates into this deadly form. Until 2016, it was always fatal. There was no treatment, there was no cure. There were some palliative medicines being used, but they didn't really attack the disease. And in 2016, my cat Smokey became one of the first cats ever cured of FIP. He was in the first drug trial at UC Davis, run by Dr. Niels Peterson and several other researchers who figured out to use human HIV antiviral drugs to attack this virus. And in the first trial, there were 20 cats and 5 survived, including Smokey. And that drug, which is called GS 441524, made by an American drug company. Unfortunately, that drug company doesn't want to release it for cats. Part of it has to do with it's now being used to treat human COVID-19.
Okay.
So the only way to get this drug is by buying it online from Chinese sellers in an unregulated market. So
okay, can we stop right there for 1 second? Can we back up just a little bit?
Sure.
I want to make sure I have this right. So in general, a lot of cats have something that mutates into FIP, sort of like how HIV mutates. That's why this drug works.
Well,
is that right?
So most cats have this common cold virus, and it doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them. And then in the 2%, through reasons that the researchers don't know exactly, the triggers are stress. Often it strikes weakened cats that have been through a lot, but they don't really know all the details. But it mutates, and it's basically like cancer then, right? It turns into this fatal disease. So once it mutates, it's not contagious anymore. That's a big thing to be clear. And then this drug that they found cures this cancer.
It does cure it in cats.
It does cure it.
That we can't get it very easily here.
Right. It's not approved. The American drug companies right now doesn't want to use it for cats. The Chinese claim that their version is slightly different, and they sell it online, many Chinese companies. And we help people connect with those companies, and we have helped cure thousands of cats all over the world. If you have an FIP cat today, we can help you get this drug and you can cure it. The downside is it's unregulated. Obviously that, it'd be much better to have a regulated legal drug. It's expensive. It's a 12-week course. So there's Zen by Cat, my nonprofit, which we'll talk about. We're dedicated to raising money for the researchers to continue finding better drugs, cheaper drugs.
That was my next question, actually. The knowledge I do have about it is there's not much about it. Like there hasn't been a lot of research. This is I didn't even know that there was a drug to cure it because I don't have a cat with FIP, and I've been fortunate enough not to have dealt with this with my experiences, and what I do. But honestly, there's just not much information out there. So I did read that you were actually helping with the research involved as well to find more solutions. Is that correct?
Right. Zenbike is actually, that's our main focus, to raise money for Dr. Peterson and other researchers all over the world who are working on not only better drugs, but a vaccine, right? It would be ideal if we could just stop the cat from mutating. They're working on a definitive blood, because right now FIP is diagnosed by eliminating all other causes. There's not an easy test. So that's what Zen by Cat stays focused on, but I'm contacted 4 or 5 times a day by people all over the world with FIP cats. So of course we help them connect with these sellers to save today's cat.
Right.
But it is expensive, right? It's a 12-week course, and it can cost from, right now it's down to about $1,200 in the easiest case, but people can spend up to $10,000 in a 12-week course, based on weight and the type of FIP.
Yeah, and the severity, right? I mean, I think there's probably many factors. I am no veterinarian, so
Yes.
So I wanted to also break down the way that your whole kind of system is set up, because I go on House of Neko and I see your house and what you've done to catify your house, and then I see Zen by Cat, which seems to be a merchandise area where you can purchase things that are from FIP warriors and Zen by Cat, and all that money goes to help research, correct?
Yeah, I'm happy you asked me this. So House of Neko is just my house of Neko means cat. And we've been making and sharing videos for 30 years. And I rescue cats. I have 25 rescue cats. And we used to share that to show that humans and cats could live together to the benefit of both. And then when I got involved with FIP in 2016, I created Zen by Cat as a legal 501c3 nonprofit. And Zen by Cat is dedicated to raising awareness and money for FIP research. And it's completely separate. None of the money from Zen by Cat ever comes to me. We have no paid positions. We guarantee when you give us $1, 90 cents goes to the researchers. We just use 10% to try to cover the overhead costs. So they're completely separate. And
then the third leg is FIP Warriors, which is that facilitation area where you actually help connect people to helping their cats individually. Is that correct?
Yes. So FIP Warriors. So FIP Warriors is our logo, right? Is our mascot. And FIP Warriors, the Facebook group, was created by this amazing woman named Robin Kintz in New York, when her cat got FIP 2 years ago, and she went online and found that the drug, the Save Smokey, wasn't available, except she found it from a China company. So she created this Facebook page to help people connect with that drug. And it grew to, FIP Warriors had 30,000 members. Before it was shut down many times. Again, the politics of using unregulated drugs and all of that. So, but currently FIP Warriors 5.0 is still out, and you can go there and get information. And that's where we send people who quietly, they help them connect and get these drugs. So FIP Warriors, the Facebook group is who helps save the current cats.
Great.
Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. That's what I got from it as well. So, is there anything else that you wanted to interject here as far as this whole scenario? Is there something I don't know right now?
So I want to try to reach out to, so I was fortunate enough to meet Dr. Niels Peterson, who is the one who found this drug. And he's the one who's been working. I mean, there are a lot of researchers around the working, but he has been the lead researcher trying to solve FIP for 55 years, right? He's retired and he's still working. And one of what we're trying to get the message out for anyone who's been touched by FIP, if they would help, and this is where I'm pitching a little bit, but we have a FIP. Do
it. That's what we're here for.
We have an FIP Warriors Club where we ask people to sign up for $10 a month automatic donations, just $10 a month, 2 cups of coffee. And that helps us fund research, because animal research is always underfunded. And ironically, even though COVID-19 is being treated by drugs that came from the research for FIP, money for FIP research is still hard to get. So, there's so many causes and everyone has so many things to do. But if you've been touched by FIP, join our club, give us $10 a month, 9 goes to the researchers, and we can end FIP faster if they had more research. Dr. Peterson, when my cat Smokey got in and I said, how can I help? He said, we need money. And then after talking more, I found out they need a lot of money, right? They need $1 million a year. But what people don't understand is $10 a month. If 5,000 people give $10 a month, that's $1 million a year.
Correct.
So that's my biggest pitch. And the other pitch is, don't let FIP rob you of the joy of cats, right? Because it's a horrible disease, and a lot of people go through this traumatic. It often kills kittens, right? I've lost 2 kittens to it.
Yeah.
And then they're afraid to adopt. They're afraid of this disease. But cats, to me, cats are magical. They save me more than I save them.
Agreed.
my 25 cats and my house, which is built for them, is just a way to survive the human world. So we want to end FIP. We want to actually all disease, right? We want to fund medical research.
Right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the way I look at it is, especially in the past year, we've seen what progressive, aggressive research and development can do for a human vaccine.
Yes.
To imagine that type of energy for cats and our beloved family members.
Yes, I was going to say, I just lost my most special cat, Cookie Monster, to lymphoma, right? And lymphoma should have been cured a long time ago. And it's the same thing. The research funding is not enough. So whatever you want to fund, whatever disease has touched you or your family or your animals in your life, pick a couple and send $10 a month to those researchers. Because if we all funded research as much as we funded pizza, we would all live forever, right?
Or
And
coffee.
yes, or coffee. Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Speaking of joys of cats, you mentioned the joys of
yes,
cats.
yes.
Now it's time for me to ask my questions. Okay?
All right.
These are easy questions. It's an easy test. You'll pass it. You've already passed it.
Okay.
What got you hooked? What was the hook for cats? Like, how did you get into this?
So I've told this story before, but I grew up with dogs. My family is allergic to cats, and when I bought this house 30 years ago with my brother, it was the first house we bought together. It came with 2 stray cats, indoor outdoor cats that the previous owners were feeding, and we kept feeding them. And then one was killed by a car in front of my house. It was really sad. And then the other one was hit by a car, and we had to rebuild the cat at the vets. And I went and I adopted 2 little kittens to keep this recovering cat company, and I just got hooked. I don't know. I just,
Yeah.
cats are magical. They don't need you. They will pee on your pillow and then stand on your chest and demand that you love them. And I just got hooked. And I'm a builder, so I started building catwalks. I saw a little book by Bob. Oh, the name escapes me. But he had a cat house in San Diego, and I said, oh, I can do this. And I built a few catwalks, and the cats used it. So the more catwalks I built, my house became 3-dimensional. I could have more cats. And that's how I ended up with 25 cats.
Yeah. So my second question is, what was the moment that you woke up and said, there's no turning back? Like, you're hooked, and then you realize, oh, this is it. Like, you're Peter Cohen, House of Gecko for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when the moment was, but people often look at the videos of my house and they say, how do you keep it so clean, and how do you get them to all get along, and how do you get them to not pee? And the truth is, none of that's true. We spend an hour plus a day cleaning. We don't have any rugs in the house. We don't have anything that cats can easily pee on. We give up some stuff. But when I come home from the human world and I sit down and 2, 3, or 10 cats come and hang around me, it just feels so, beautiful. It's just an escape.
It is an earned affection. We do not get it freely. We have to earn it, and therefore it is more valuable.
and I don't know, but every single cat that I've ever met is just beautiful to me. And we try to adopt hard to adopt cats, shy cats, black cats, which is sadly hard to place for some strange human reason. And I like the shy ones that it takes months and months to gain their trust. And then, it's the most magical moment when the cat who is afraid of humans will come and sit next to you and trust you and look away from you, meaning they turn their back to you, knowing that.
Yeah. Meaning, the other day, one of my cats was sitting away from the circle of humans in the living room, and she was sitting away, facing away from us. And I was like, they're all clicker trained at my house. And I was like, she's dogging it. Like, she's like protecting us from the outside. And I don't know if I've ever realized that sitting with our back facing to us could possibly mean that. She was actually on the outside circle.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, is this what I'm seeing? And she looked back like, yeah, you're okay. And then just kept like looking around, and I was like, is she protecting us? Because she is very motherly of a cat. This pretty interesting stuff.
I never stop learning from cats about something different.
They're pretty underrated too, but I know that, that.
And they're way above dogs.
Oh yeah. Did you wake up and were like, I got jilted out of my childhood? Like, I could have had more cats. I could have had more. The sun's coming in. The lighting's terrible here. Whatever. I don't care. This show's gonna be great. I could have. I was also. My mother was allergic when I was younger, and she was allergic. Like, I don't know, because they have cats now, and she has no allergies.
Well, I was allergic, and it went away.
Yeah.
But I have family members who are so allergic they cannot come to my house. So
yeah,
and we have bottles of Claritin by the door,
Here, take 2 and call me in the morning. My partner is allergic, but he's fine. But his father is like, you know, like cannot walk into the house, and we only have three. So
Well, it starts with 3 and then, go
I
somewhere.
know. I tell people that 3 is the hook. When I ask people how they got hooked, it's usually the third cat. Like,
Yeah, after 6, it becomes one more is less and less noticeable. And,
it's
when
a
you have 20,
blur. It's a blur
when you have 22
fur.
and you get one more, it's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went way under time. Like we're
Did we?
yeah, we have 4 minutes. I mean, it's 15 to 20, so we're good. If there's anything else you want to talk about.
Oh, so much, about cats, right? So I want to give a shout out to Rescue Cats, which is the
Okay.
local center or shelter that I adopt my cats from, because Jeffney, the founder, does amazing things for animals. But the reason I like her shelter, she'll do what it takes, right? If a cat
Yeah.
needs a lot of medical help, she and I and many don't believe you just end the cat because it's inconvenient. So I like to support, shelters like that. I want to give a shout out to Montecito Pet Shop, which is also a local shop that supports us. One of the things that Zen by Cat does is we make partnership events with lots of companies, mostly small companies, where we help them and they make small donations to us. And these people like Montecito Pet Shop, like Jeffney, they're unsung heroes, because one of the things that I learned using money is when you ask for money for research, for animals, for whatever, it's always the same 2% of people who respond, right? And asking for money is really hard, right? It's tiring.
Really hard.
And you ask and gives, and then next week you have to ask again, right? So just to all the people who work with animals, the people who rescue them and try to find homes for them, they're amazing people. And the last thing I want to say, and then I'll stop talking, is it's really easy to fall over the edge into hoarding. And especially animal people, they want to save all of them. And it's, I myself, I don't go to shelters unless I'm going to adopt one because I can't say no. But you have to, whatever your line is. I have 25 cats, but there's 2 humans and I have the resources to medically care for them and all that stuff.
Right.
It's easy to go too far. And then I know people who have 20 cats and they can't afford it. They can't, it's not just the money, it's the time to be with the cats.
Right.
And their house turns bad. And so whether it's 2 or 20 or 1, save the ones you can, but remember you need to enjoy it with animals. And if you've gone to the point where every dollar and every minute is cleaning up cat poop, you're too far, right? And then what's the point of that? So I just want to say that because it's heartbreaking when you can't save them all, but we can't save them all. Each one you do save, that's the amazing thing about rescuing animals. We can't fix the world, the human world, COVID world, but when you save a cat, you've saved that cat's whole life, right?
Right.
That's amazing.
That's a good way to close, Peter. Thank you. I like to tell people that there's big and small ways, and sometimes it's the tiniest thing that I see someone do that has the biggest impact on my whole day and fills me with hope again, And sometimes it's just one cat, right?
Yep.
So I appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here.
Sure.
I enjoyed this.
Okay.
Before the sun blinds me, I'm going to get out of here.
Okay.
So thanks again, Peter. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the show. It's time. Subscribe. Green screen malfunction. See you next week.